Welcome everyone to the Sports Giant Network, and today in this video, we're recapping UFC 313, the pay-per-view that just happened this past Saturday. It's later than I expected. My apologies there, but I did want to. I did say I was going to do this video when we did the playback watch along, so I'm going to do it here. And so, thank you guys for watching and listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube or Rumble, and check us out on playback when we do live reactions where we watch the events and break it down, whether it be NBA for the Knicks or wrestling or UFC pay-per-views or fight nights, etc. Check us out on Playback TV, Sports Jedi Network, and yeah, thank you guys for the support, and we'll go from here. We're gonna start with the first fight in the main card. That was between Mauricio Rufy and Bobby Green, not King Green. I'm sorry, I'm not calling this man King Green. Bobby Green. I don't care you change your name to Bobby. But at this knockout, I cannot call you King Green. As Mr. Rufy knocks out Bobby Green in the first round. And if you watch my preview video, I did say Bobby Green was going to lose and get finished in the first round. Well, it would be late in the first round. This knockout was like the middle of the first round. I'm not surprised because Mauricio Rufy is a very fast starter, very good striker with power, popping his hands, his ability to finish guys. And I thought he had a chance to knock out Bobby Green, considering Bobby Green likes to keep his hands down, will leave his chin open, and and he's been rocked or finished in his last several fights. Even the Jim Miller fight that Bobby Green won in April of last year, Jim Miller did rock him. I think he might have dropped him. I think. I'm trying to remember that UFC 300 fight. I know Jim Miller rocked Bobby Green, but Bobby Green was able to win that fight. But he was hurt by Jim Miller. So it's been a trend with Bobby Green in his recent fights. He's either been dropped, rocked, and I knew that Mauricio Rufy was power was going to catch Bobby Green and probably hurt him badly. As Bobby Green's been fighting for a while now. I mean, this is his 49th fight in his career, and he's been fighting since like the late 2000s, Bobby Green. So he's been around for a while, and so I had a feeling that this was Mauricio Rufy's going to knock him out. However, I didn't expect a spin wheel kick knockout out of nowhere and um, knockout of the year contender to happen. I mean, if you saw, I mean, first let me break down before the spin wheel kick. Not a lot happened really. But I mean, I know Mauricio Rufy landed a good right that stunned Bobby Green, but other than that, I can't. Nothing really big happened prior to the wheel kick knockout for either guy. Really, I mean, both guys might land some leg kick and stuff, but like nothing big. Like I said, then Mauricio Rufy, basically, pushes Bobby Green, pushes Bobby Green. I mean, by push, I mean like walk. I mean like control. Like walks Bobby Green towards the fence, and then he lands that spinning wheel kick out of nowhere and just knocks him out badly. And like I said, not a year contender. As let me show you the image right here, if you guys can see it. I mean, look at that. Lands perfectly in the temple, and then Bobby Green's head hits the fence after he gets hit the wheel kick, and then he gets dropped like that. I mean, it was bad. Most of you have seen the video, I'm sure, of the knockout. If you haven't, go check it out, please. What are you doing? In my opinion, now I think about it, it's the knockout of the year so far. I know we're in mid-March. We got plenty of the year to go. So who knows? Someone else might get a more impressive knockout. But for at this moment, that is the knockout of the year. And Mauricio Rufy gets a performance bonus and gets a highlight reel knockout. What a knockout by Mauricio Rufy as he continues the fighting nerds prominence. Him, Bravo, John Silva, and Carlos Prates are just doing well in the UFC. I know there's other members of the Fighting Nerds, and some of them have lost, but those four are like the big four so far of the Fighting Nerds. Who knows? Might be a fifth guy, or maybe a fifth. There might be a lady out there who might end up dominating the UFC. We'll wait and see. But the Fighting Nerds just keep on making noise in the UFC. And as Mauricio Rufy, they called out they called out Benil Dariush for a fight, which I like that idea because Benil hasn't fought in a while. I know he's supposed to fight in January, but unfortunately, the fight couldn't happen because Moicano, his opponent, had to step in to fight Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title because Arman Tsarukyan pulled out. So there's that whole thing. So yeah, I could see Dariush and Rufy fighting potentially. I don't mind that. I actually like that idea personally. Plus, Dariush is more of a grappler who can drop people. I mean, he dropped Gamrot with overhand left, I believe it was, or it was overhand left or right in their fight. So he's got power, but more of a grappler. It'd be interesting to see how Rufy does against someone like that. I like that idea of her fight. That's a good, yeah, I like that. He should fight somebody next. It don't matter who. Just he should be a ranked opponent next. Marisa Rufy should fight. Also, Marisa Rufy, for those of you who don't know, I'm just gonna mention it briefly, just because they mentioned it last week. And everyone's talking about it. It's that Marisa Rufy is actually not his last name. He changed it because he's a big One Piece fan, and the main character's name's Luffy. And if you ever watch the anime, it always sounds like they're saying Rufy instead of Luffy, because for reason the language of Japanese, it's hard to pronounce the L's. I don't know why, but just is. So he called himself Rufy out of the main character, and he even did the Luffy Gear 2 pose before when Bruce Buffer was doing the introduction. So I just want to mention that real quick. To shout out to Mauricio Rufy. Like I said, big fan. I like to fight nerds. Just want to mention that real quick. It makes sense. To fight nerds, anime, etc. Even though anime has become more mainstream, can you even call it nerd stuff anymore? I mean, that's a debate for another video. Anyway, shout out to Mauricio Rufy. Good job. We'll go from that to the next fight, which... Oh, no, I do want to mention this real quick. I think Bobby Green should retire. I mean, well, I mean, I just think Bobby Green continues on fighting. He's just gonna get knocked out, just like this against contenders. There's no point. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna make a run. He's older. He's getting rocked or dropped. There's no point. To me, he should retire. Just want to mention that real quick. But like I said, Bobby Green, Bobby Green has been an entertaining fighter for most of his career, so I'll give him a shout out to him, and shout out to Mauricio Rufy, of course. As we transition from that fight to Men Lemos and Asmin Lucindo, as Lemos wins 29-28. This fight sucked. Trash fight. All they did was just hug. They just were holding each other against the fence. That's all they were doing, and it just you had a great highlight reel knockout, and then you go from that to this crap. Which I said in my previous fight was going to suck, and I was right. Let's just be honest. These women fights, especially on pay-per-views or main card, or like fight nights in crowds, or just in general, they always are 9 times out of 10, let me say, are bad. They don't deliver. They stink up the joint. They kill the mood. It's just awful. I hate it so much. I hate that they do that. And it's like you want women fights to be good, but they suck always. I mean, 9 times out of 10. This is the one time that's actually good, and everyone acts like it's always like that, or that you can't complain about women fights sucking because one fight's good. They forget the exception proves the rule, not the other way around. So, and if you watch any like the big MMA YouTubers, MMA Guru, Lucas Tracy, etc., they always mention how the women fights tend to suck, and they're correct. Like, it was 2 years ago when I realized this. And after watching one of MMA Guru's videos, and it's like, yeah, these women's fights tend to suck, and it ruins the mood. It's like they always put on the pay-per-view for some odd reason just to stink up the joint, and it's fucking annoying. And it's typical here, typical women's fights, just terrible ass fights, boring. It's like the women haven't evolved. Like you would think, the women have been in the UFC for 12 years now. Ronda Rousey made her debut in February 2013. You would thought there had been some evolution among the women, and some women have that, some do. But the problem is, it's far few. It's not like a lot of them. It's like there's no evolution of these women's fights, and they're just bland, and we just accept it for some odd reason. And it's like if you criticize it, you're the sexist pig or something. We're just totally stupid. Like, no, watch the fights. If you can, pay attention. You know, the reason why a lot of us MMA fans complain about women's MMA, the reason for it, because it's shit like this. It happens too often. Way too often. It's fucking annoying. They ruin everything. Not everything. They ruin the card sometimes. And if you get a women's main event, it tends to suck as well. Most times. There's some good women out there who do well. There's plenty of talented women. There are entertaining women that enjoy watching fights. Like Zhang Weili, Valentina Shevchenko, mostly. Although Valentina at times, it's weird with her. She'll have an entertaining fight, but then she'll have a boring fight. But usually when it's a boring fight, her next fight tends to be entertaining. She tends to be dominant, get impressive finish. Women like that. There's women like Natalia Silva. Sorry. Aaron Blanchfield as well. Was even though her performance against Mayon Fior was, I don't know what the heck that was. What was that? There's talented women like that, but the problem is it's so far few. There's those women, and there's like a bunch of other ones where you go, what are you doing? This is awful. What am I watching? Just terrible, man. I'm sorry. I had to talk about that because this fight is personified my issues with women's MMA and a lot of MMA fans' issues with women's MMA, UFC, etc. Just dull performances, super dull, terrible, man. Ugh. Now let's move on. Let's talk about something good. The next fight, which was a good submission victory for Inacio Bonmondes as he submits Jalen Turner in the first round. I said Bonmondes was going to win. However, I did not expect a submission. I was dead wrong. I didn't know it was going to happen. Matter of fact, I was surprised Turner took him down. I think Bonmondes was trying to shoot in, but he couldn't, and Turner was able to reverse it and to get leverage and push him down. That's in where which led to the grappling exchange. If I remember, yeah, that's what happened. I know both guys were throwing shots early on, throwing heat like as soon as the bell rang, and both guys had their moment striking. But when Turner took Balmontes down, Turner did land a nice elbow and did some decent ground and pound. But Balmontes off his back was basically throwing elbows, a bunch of elbows off his back on Jalen Turner, and was doing well fighting off his back. With some guys, if they get taken down, it's like they're a fish out of water. It's like they don't know what to do. While Balmontes just kept throwing and just kept trying to advance position from his perspective to get up or to get a submission. And Turner was sitting up high, and basically allowed himself to get triangle choked as Balmontes was able to pull on a nice triangle choke out of nowhere. As I did not as When I first saw it, I thought maybe Balmontes wasn't gonna be able to get it. That Turner was able to escape because Balmontes has long legs, like long skinny legs, and I thought maybe it'll give Turner enough time to pull out before Balmontes can lock the triangle. But I was wrong. Balmontes does have strong legs. It seems. I think Cormier mentioned that, or somebody mentioned that, and he's able to pull in the triangle choke out of nowhere and be able to submit Turner. As I thought maybe Turner might be able to like throw like a punch, try to break up the triangle choke, but the way Balmontes positioned the triangle choke, it would have been hard for Turner to land a punch in that position. So Turner had a tap. And it was a great performance by Balmontes considering he got taken down and it was off his back. And like I said, he's more of a striker, Balmontes. We know him for his good striking, not exactly for his submissions, but he showed that he can submit guys and he has a submission game. He's a well-rounded mixed martial artist. As Balmontes is a guy who, has improved a lot. I mean, he came to UFC, won his first two fights, had a impressive spinning wheel kick knockout. That I remember reacting, just lose and just being super impressed by it. It was a very impressive knockout. They lost. I forgot. He lost his third fight, and then since then he's won. So I believe he's like a 5-fight win streak now. I think he's won like I want to say 6 of his last 7 or 7 of his last 8, something like that. Something like that in the UFC. I should have looked it up, but anyway, he's on a roll. He's ranked number 15 now. He beat Jalen Turner, who's ranked number 13 going into that fight, and now he's gonna be fighting a ranked opponent, which I don't know. Maybe I don't know who he can fight. Maybe they give him, and if they don't give Rufi and Dariush, maybe they do Boamondes and Dariush, or maybe try to think who else. They want to say Denis Boamondes, maybe. I don't have the lightweight rankings in front of me, so I don't know like who it can match up. But he should be fighting somebody ranked next. Clearly, Balmontes since he's ranked now. And Jalen Turner does retire. He does retire after this performance. I know he lost 3 of his last 4 fights, including this one. But surprised because he's 29 years old. He's still young. 29 is still young. Balmontes was saying that he was trying to convince Turner to not retire, that he shouldn't retire. But as Turner doesn't want to fight anymore, lost the fighting spirit. So it's his choice. I mean, good luck to him in his life. Whatever he does next in his next adventures, his career. I mean, not his career, his life, excuse me. 29. Who knows? He might come back. I mean, maybe he's just upset he lost. Maybe after a year off, he comes back, considering he's still 29. I mean, he's still young in his prime. And yeah, so we'll see what happens there if Turner does come back. If Balmondes fights someone ranked next, And this pay per view card I mentioned in my previous video was a showcase for the lightweight division, as you had two young guys basically make a name for themselves in this pay per view, and then yeah, a vet and Justin Gaethje defending his spot against Rafael Fiziev. As we transition to the co-main event, as Justin Gaethje beats Rafael Fiziev 29-28, all three judges scorecards. Kind of like the first fight, Gaethje won 29-28, and like the first fight, Gaethje lost the first round. Now this was different. Fiziev was able to get like a nice like inverted triangle choke, and and held it for a while, and was able to he threw some body shots, but surprisingly throw more body shots considering he had a good position for Fiziev, that is, when he had Gaethje in that inverted triangle. I know Fiziev in the first round was doing well. He landing head kicks and freaking body kicks, and you would think maybe as the fight kept going that those body shots would affect Gaethje going into the third round if it got there, but it didn't. Gaethje's one tough motherfucker. He is so tough. This man's able to take all the damage he does and keep pressing forward and just basically take those shots. And this is a guy who's come off getting knocked out by Max Holloway back in April of last year, which was 11 months ago. But he just took these shots. I know some people mentioned maybe Fiziev maybe doesn't have the power that we thought that you would think he does. He's got some power, Fiziev, but maybe it's not like Gaethje power, for example. But still, like some Fiziev does have some power, but maybe not to the level we thought he does. Because some of these shots, I'm surprised Gaethje wasn't going down or just wasn't stunned. He just kept pressing forward, but still he lost the first round because Fiziev outlanded Gaethje and had a lot of good body kicks and like even head kicks. And like I said, he took Gaethje down, had a inverted triangle, and held him there for a while. And it looked like round two. Even though I thought Gaethje was winning before this happened, I thought it was a close round that Fiziev could steal. But then Gaethje lands the uppercut out of nowhere and drops Fiziev and basically wins that round. And for a brief second, I thought Fiziev was done. I thought maybe Gaethje had walk-off knocked out Fiziev just because of how it looked when you first see the knockdown by the uppercut. And Gaethje really did a good job in that round. And it looked like I'm trying to remember if Gaethje could have probably got the finish. I feel like he could have if he. Nah, maybe. I don't, I don't know why I'm forgetting like the end of that second round after the uppercut. I feel like there was a moment where Gaethje was like trying to like what's it called, like try to like ground and pound him, that if he just let him stand up, he probably could have finished him. I feel like there was something like that, or maybe he went for the clinch when he shouldn't have. If he just didn't, he could probably finish Fiziev. I feel like there was something around the end of the second round where if Gaethje would done something different, he could have got the knockout. Maybe I'm probably wrong about that, but I feel like there's something. I don't know why I'm thinking that there's something like that happened. That if Gaethje did something different, he could have got a knockout in the second round. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably misremembering things. Anyway, he went to the second round. Third round, Gaethje does well early on, but in the middle of round three, it looked like Fiziev got a second win. It was landing good body kicks, like I mentioned, landing good shots as well. But Gaethje just landed the bigger shots in that round. As Fiziev does, like I mentioned, slow down in third rounds. Like I mentioned in my preview video, see that third round Fiziev struggles. He tends to slow down, and it doesn't help that Fiziev got rocked and dropped in that second round. But Fiziev, for a brief moment in the middle of that third round, called like a second win and was able to fight back. But Gaethje was able to land the better shots and hurt Fiziev and rocked him, landing good shots to the head and even to the body of Fiziev, but mostly the head of Fiziev. And Gaethje was able to pull through and win this fight, going away 29-28. And this fight, to me, answered two questions, one for each guy. Fiziev, despite coming out that layoff injury, can still fight and still has it still is able to show that his knee is basically fine, and that he can go out there and be the old Fiziev and still be able to fight well despite coming off the long layoff. And Gaethje, we answered his question: is his chin gone? And it looks like his chin's not gone. I mentioned Fiziev maybe doesn't have the power that we thought he has, but Fiziev, like I said, still has power. And Fiziev hit him some big shots, especially head kicks, and Gaethje was able to walk through, and shows that Gaethje Gaethje still got chin, and Gaethje's still one of the best lightweights in the world. And man, Gaethje just doesn't slow down usually, and he's basically it basically takes a lot to put Gaethje down. You gotta be like Max Holloway and be able to land like a spinning heel wheel kick that breaks Gaethje's nose in the first round. Just do a shit ton of damage before you drop him 1 second to go in round 5. Or you got like Poirier, have Poirier power. Or Poirier's one of those guys that if he lands a bunch of shots on you, he just finishes you. Poirier, like if you take too many shots with Poirier, he will finish you basically, unless you're Max Holloway. You gotta be someone like that to be able to put Gaethje away, or Eddie Alvarez to be able to attack the body successfully before heading. Fiziev did do that, but Eddie just really like did that to Gaethje when Eddie beat Gaethje. But yeah, Gaethje's just tough, one tough motherfucker, and for Gaethje, he should fight at least someone. Gaethje should not get a title fight. I know they're talking about maybe Gaethje's saying he's there a title fight. Dana White says he's open to it. No. Gaethje needs to win one more fight. I know Gaethje says, well, he lost an exhibition fight. No, that was still 155. You got knocked out by Max Holloway. Stop. It was not an exhibition. You got knocked out. Gaethje should try to avenge the Charles Oliveira loss, or fight Elliot Poirier, who's moving up, or fight Dustin Poirier. If Gaethje can win one of those fights and is on a 2-fight win streak, then he gets his on Makhachev. But till then, no. Gaethje should not get a title fight. Anyway, we transitioned from the co-main event to the main event as Magomed Ankalaev wins this fight. He had a decision 48-47, 49-46 on one judge's scorecard, which I don't understand how. I don't get how you get round 5 to Magomed. That one I don't get. That makes no sense. It's in Sal D'Amato too, a guy that people have always complained about his scorecards and how people wonder how this guy's still judging, but anyway, I question that too. Sal D'Amato scorecards sometimes are a lot of times are questionable. You look and go, how? What world? You score that? I wish judges sometimes would get. I wish judges would get interviewed when they had to defend their position, just so we understand what they're looking at. But anyway, Magomed Ankalaev. When I first saw, there's a lot. While I watched along the aftermath, I thought Alex Pereira won. I thought it was a bad decision, bad judgment call by the judges. But the more I think about it, the more I can see why they gave it to Magomed Ankalaev, considering Alex Pereira didn't. This was not a great fight. Alex Pereira was very hesitant. So he was very worried about that takedown threat. Alex Pereira, he landed a lot of leg kicks, especially early on, but he didn't land a lot of shots. Like he kept going for that right head kick a lot. To the point it became too obvious, like too telegraphed. And Magomed knew that he was going to throw it. Even when he landed, it landed on Magomed's arms. Like he just blocked the shots. Basically, Magomed was able to like predict what Pereira was going to do for the most part. And Pereira had a lot of success with leg kicks early on, but it wasn't enough. Like he didn't throw any jabs. That's the one thing I didn't understand Pereira this fight, is that Magomed kept pressuring him, and he was open to the jab. Like the best way to stop Magomed's pressure is jab Magomed's face. I don't know why he didn't throw that. It was there. If he just throw some jabs at Magomed Ankalaev, Magomed wouldn't be able to pressure him as much, and it would open up for Alex Pereira to throw other shots. Left hooks, punches, jabs to the body, to where he can set up left hook or head kick, etc. But he didn't do that. Magomed was able to pressure him and was able to pressure him, land good shots, and Pereira land good shots on him. And this surprised me, considering I didn't think Magomed would win the striking exchanges. I did not expect it at all. I thought Magomed would take him down and would win the wrestling. Magomed was 0 for 12 in takedowns, which shocked me. If you had told me that Magomed Ankalaev would be 0 for 12 with takedown attempts, I would thought he would lost the fight to Alex Pereira. But no, Alex was able to stop all the takedowns, but the striking exchange where he lost. And if you told me that 4 to 5 rounds would be a lot of striking, would be basically stand up, I would thought Alex Pereira would have destroyed Magomed Ankalaev, but I was wrong. Magomed hurt him in that second round with a right that stunned Alex Pereira. That looked like it weren't for the bell, Pereira might have been finished. It looked like it there. And then third round is really like the close round that arguably could go on Alex, but Magomed. I think the judges give the Magomed, and the reason why you can argue with Magomed once because Magomed landed a jab that did stun Alex Pereira. It seemed like, but even the strikes were somewhat close in that third round. It's like Magomed's jab that stunned Alex Pereira, even if it was brief, still was like the more damaging shot, and that was it was a bad visual for Alex Pereira towards the judges, and I think that's what probably gave Magomed that round. Pereira did decent still. Magomed was doing well, excuse me, in that third round. And I think that Jazz will roll Magomed that round in that fight. Because I said the fifth round, Alex Pereira actually landed a lot more shots, and Magomed was just trying to hold him against the fence. That towards like this last minute and a half of that round, and they didn't do much. Alex Pereira was landing more shots in that fifth round. I remember when I did a live watch along playback, I was wondering like why Magomed was just being so hesitant. Like I understand his fight strategy in that fifth round, considering that was 2-2. Like he should have like done more. I didn't. I'm surprised. Like I said, that surprised me. But Magomed won the fight anyway. The judges gave it to him 3-2, and one judge gave it 4-1, which I don't understand. But Magomed and Ankalaev did enough to win. Pereira didn't do much. Ankalaev was pressing forward and actually landing shots on Alex Pereira more than I expected. I know the fourth round was a boring round because Magomed just held him against the fence where he didn't do much. But a lot of the fight was striking, and Magomed pressured and landed shots on Alex Pereira. He landed some leg kicks of his own on Alex. And I think landed maybe like I want to say a body kick. I could be wrong about that with Magomed, but Magomed does like to strike and can show that he can strike, and he's willing to strike. Like I said in my preview, excuse me, I thought Magomed was gonna. I said that Magomed is probably gonna go for takedowns when he's in danger or gets hurt when he gets hurt. That's what I thought, because Magomed tends to do that, but Magomed most of the fight kept it striking, and he went for takedowns in the fight. Like I said, 0-for-12, but just couldn't get them. So I was very impressed by Alex Pereira there, but still. Alex Pereira's performance was it seemed like he was so hesitant because he was afraid of getting taken down. He didn't let his hands go, and he was too predictable. He for Magomed Ankalaev to pressure him, just beat him up. Yeah, and that sucked because it was not a great main event. It sucked. You had a great co-main event with Gaethje and Fiziev in the rematch, and then you go to this. It's like and Alex Pereira too, always bringing the same fights. Like, man. It's fights. Magomed Ankalaev did enough to win. After reconsidering the fight itself, I realized that Magomed did win the fight. If you're judging the whole fight in its entirety instead of round for round, which I prefer that MMA fights are judged in its entirety, like they do in one championship or Japanese MMA, or instead of round for round like boxing does, they judge the entire fight, which I think the UFC and PFL only organizations should do. If you judge the fight like that, Magomed Ankalaev won the fight. And when I thought about it like that, I was like, yeah, Magomed won because he damn near finished Alex in that second and landed more shots and did more. So, yeah, I got to give the Magomed. He earned it. He deserves the victory. And Magomed Ankalaev was basically saying that he wants to do the rematch with Alex Pereira, which I think is the right call because I think Alex defended the belt multiple times and it was a close fight too. I mean, if Alex would have landed more shots in some of these rounds, he probably would have won the fight. People act like Magomed Ankalaev dominated Alex Pereira. Not necessarily. That's not a domination. It was domination. What Dricus du Plessis did to Sean Strickland last month in Australia. That was domination. This was Magomed doing more and winning the fight clearly, but Alex landed a few more shots in these rounds. He probably could have won the fight. But he didn't do it, so Magomed deserves the victory, the title victory, basically. And I don't know why I said it like that, but Magomed deserves the championship and deserves to get his hand raised as you got a new light heavyweight champion. It sucks. Alex Pereira is one of my favorite fighters and is a genuine star that people like and people respect. So it's like, damn it. Why? It's like, fuck. Why you had to lose like that, Alex? Really? Come on, man. I expect the rematch to go a lot differently, personally, because I think Magomed, because I think Alex knows that he can defend the takedowns. That Alex knows that. Maybe Alex lets his hands go, works on things. Maybe isn't isn't distracted because Alex Pereira was in Australia last month. He's Corn Strickland and stayed in Australia. Was doing a lot of different things. He went to I think he went to Drake concert in Australia or something like that. Was doing a lot of different things, and I I don't know if that played in the fight. Maybe I don't. It probably didn't. Maybe it did. Either way, Alex Pereira always like trains because it's 24/7. So it's like he's always training no matter what. So it might play a factor. It probably didn't, considering he's always trained 24/7. Either way, he didn't fight a smart game plan, and Magomed Ankalaev made him pay for it. Magomed Ankalaev had a good game plan and worked. I don't want to take too much away from Magomed because Magomed did what he was supposed to do and won the fight, so he deserves the victory. New champ. Interesting to see how the rematch goes. I know you were talking about Yuri and Magomed, but I think Yuri should win one more fight before he gets a title fight. I understand it's against Magomed considering Yuri lost those two title fights to Alex Pereira. He's no longer the champion. So maybe you do Yuri and Magomed, but I think you should do Alex and Magomed rematch and have Yuri win one more fight. Then you do Yuri against the winner of Alex and Magomed in the rematch. But I wouldn't be totally against a Yuri Magomed fight if they do go that route. I just prefer the Alex rematch. But we'll see what the UFC does. And it looks like Magomed wants to defend his belt in Abu Dhabi in October, which is like I don't want to wait till October for the lightweight championship to be defended. Oh, come on, why October? Why? Why? It's like that's. I mean, it's not like Magomed took a lot of damage in his fights. It's like Alex didn't take too much damage either. Like, why not do in July the rematch or August? Because I know last year they went to Abu Dhabi in early August for a fight night. Why not just do a Abu Dhabi pay per view in August and just have that be the main event? Listen, I don't wait. Let's not wait till October. That'd be terrible. Freaking have to wait 7 months for the freaking lightweight championship to be defended. That is my opinion on that. I hope they go Abu Dhabi in October. I mean, excuse me, August instead of October, so that we only wait 7 months for the championship to be defended. Considering both guys didn't take a lot of damage in that fight, it makes more sense. Like why wait? I think plus that way the lightweight picture will still be more clear. We'll know who wins between Khalil and Jamal Hill, and then Carlos Ulberg and Jan Blachowicz, and that way we can like those guys can know like how long they wait to get a title fight instead of having to wait till October for the lightweight championship belt to be defended, and they gotta wait and see like how long they have to wait till they get a title fight if they ever win enough fights, basically. So that's why I don't want the lightweight title fight to be defended in October. I'd be done earlier, so in the way it's long, both guys didn't take much damage, and it's better for the division. So that way, both guys can know what to do in terms of how many fights they need to take to win. I mean, they know how many fights they need to take and win before they get a championship fight instead of being this limbo, which no one wants. Because that means the division is stagnant and everyone loses. The fighters and the fans lose. Either way, that's my reaction to UFC 313. It was a solid card, like an okay card for the most part. The women's fight sucked like usual. Then the main event was not good. But Magomed did enough to win, deserves to win. So congratulations to him. That's my video. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts on the pay-per-view. What you liked and didn't like, what fights you thought were good, and what you thought on the performances of each fighter. Let me know. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Have a good night. And I was gonna say something else, but then I decided not to say. That's why I made that weird noise there. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I'll do a UFC London preview, the Sean Brady Leon Edwards card, because it has a good card. I'm looking forward to it. I wish I wasn't working that day because I do like the Saturday afternoon fights. I would love to do a live watch along with you guys, but I work on next Saturday, unfortunately. But anyway, fortunately, though, I might be off UFC 314 and might be able to do a live watch along with you guys and not pay per view stack. So hopefully I'll be off. We'll see. Anyway, have a good night. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.